Hello, friends. Welcome to Chess Corner, and I'm Girish. Today I'm going to talk about visualization skills. And one of the first steps that you take to visualize your board is to remember the color of the square. Okay, the color of each and every square. So the general practice is to memorize it, memorize the square by just trying to recall that in your mind. But I'm going to teach you a new skill. I'm going to teach you an easier way to remember those uh, color of those squares without much effort. You don't have to put a lot of effort to do that. So what we are going to do is recognize the color of chess board, each square, and to do that, I have to remind you of some basic math that you learned in when you were a small kid. And the one thing that I want you to remember is odd numbers and even numbers. Why this is important? Because we are going to use this to recognize the color of the chess square. Okay, the square on chessboard. So, for example, the odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. And if you remember, these numbers are those numbers that cannot be perfectly divided by number 2. And even numbers are even because they can be perfectly divided by number 2. For example, if you divide 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10, then what you get is a remainder which is 0. But if you divide odd numbers by 2, then the remainder would be something like 1 or maybe some other number. But let's forget everything and just remember these two things, that certain numbers are odd numbers and certain numbers are even numbers. Now, one thing is that you don't have to remember large numbers. Maximum it will be like 16 or yes, I think it's 16. So you have to remember even or odd numbers up to 16. Okay, so that is a very basic thing about even and odd number. Just remember that we are using this to recognize the square. So, so let's bring up the chessboard here. So what you see here is there is rows and there is columns, and the rows are known as the ranks, and columns are known as the files. So the rows are numbered 1 to 8 starting from the bottom, and on the bottom right hand corner we have 8 A, B, C, D, and so on. It moves towards the right hand side and numbered A to H. So in this particular calculation, to remember the squares, what we have to do is take any position. The squares are known by H3 or some other algebraic notation. So here H means what file it belongs to. The file number is H, and 3 is means which is the rank. The rank is 3. So if you go back to chessboard, so H3 is this particular square. As you can see, it turned red, so that is what it is. And to remember this, what we have to do is we also assign a particular number to the file. For example, H can be 8 because it's farthest right, so it is 8, and 3, the rank number will remain the same, and together you have to add those two. So if you add those two, what you get is 11. And obviously we can see that 11 cannot be perfectly divided by 2, and it is an odd number, so therefore this number is a dark square. You can see that it's an odd number, so it is a light square. I'm sorry about that. So it's light square. So odd numbers are all light squares. And let's try one more thing. Let's get it correct. So B4, B comes from the left to right. B is the second rank. Sorry, B is the second file, and rank is 4. So since it is second, so we assign number 2 to B, and 2 plus 4 is 6, and 6 is what you call is or even number. So this is going to be a dark square. Let's see that. So B4 is a dark square. Similarly, you have to find all the other numbers, and it's very easy to find all numbers. For example, I can just look at it and calculate so fast. By practice, you can get it very quickly. So for example, let's say D3, D is 4, and let's say any square like 5, D5. D5, D is 4, and 5 is D plus 4 is equal to 9. So 9 is an odd number, and therefore this is a light square. So any odd number, light square, any even number is going to be dark square. So let's put this in test. I think we should try this on some website or some app. So I have this app, Chess Agora, and here in 60 seconds I have to guess as many squares as I can, and using my method I'm going to guess all the colors of all the square, and let's see how many I can do. Okay, so I don't do out loud. Some of them I can do out loud, but most of them I'll try to think about it in my mind. Okay, let's start. See how perfectly I scored. I got 19 out of 19, and using the method I just taught you. So happy learning, friends, and I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.